All right, we are live. And what is going on? What was I hearing like Midnight's dulcet tones in the background?
I don't know. I don't think it's me.
Oh, because it sounded like the
It
beginning
was the
of the
Saturday. Yeah, it was the
yeah.
Saturday morning show.
Because I don't have like any you I don't have any YouTube tabs open in regards to the Saturday show, but
I don't hear it now.
huh, weird. Anyways, hi internet. It's me, your host, Condor Jazz. Welcome to Awful Goodness, number 77, I think. I don't know. Because I know the 76 got replaced by the Bean and Fruit show. Next to me is the OG who puts the OG in OG Kush. It's Midnight.
What's going on?
I don't know, it's kind of like Up Dog.
So, what do you have for topics tonight?
Well, there's two topics that I chose specifically for this greasy ball of grease that we usually have on the show, but since he's not here, I guess we're not going to do it. But we're
Do
going
we
to
want to?
talk
Do we
about
want to
some.
say what? Do we want to
Uh,
say what they are? Do we want to
uh,
say what they are? Do we want to
it was
keep
about
them in the pocket?
uh. Well, one's about a dead bodybuilder, and another one is a fairly famous bodybuilder, and another one is the guy who created Morton Phil,
What's Morton Phil?
Spanish comic. That's why we need
Oh,
the
Ah,
Spaniard
oh,
on.
Mortadelo y Filemón.
Yep. But Midnight, I did not leave you out of the loop because our one of our main stories has to deal with your former profession.
oh
Uh,
boy.
yeah. But before we get into it, Omega, say hello.
Hello.
The forgotten Mexican. What are you up to?
I was crossing the border. That's the reason why you forgot about me.
Oh, yeah, yeah, it happens. I mean, you just keep going back and forth, and it's just like, meh,
What's
you're
funny
not
is I'm
harming
having burritos
anybody.
tonight.
Oh,
Huh.
cool.
Homemade or just the frozen
Frozen.
microwave
I,
type?
I have I really love the frozen spicy burritos. I like I can't not like them. I love them.
Hmm.
I've tried to
Okay.
quit them. I can't stop.
You just can't quit them.
I just can't quit them.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I could kind of go for a burrito right now too.
They're good. I'm all out of beer, but they're really good with a beer.
Well, hopefully when I finally move into my apartment, my new apartment, I will have access to a kitchen and I will be making all the food. All the
Nice.
food. So, because it's night. You may find eating out is easy, but the problem is you have to like be restricted to their menu. Like I've had days
And
where I go out to the restaurants and there's like absolutely nothing, so I just have to settle with like I don't know, maybe grabbing a bag of kamote chips.
Or a noodle cup.
Yeah, or well, not the noodle cups. I get the ramen in the package.
Hmm.
the other problem with eating out too much is that it really does burn money fast.
That too.
Like
That too.
like let's just say you spend $20 on going out. For that same amount, you can have dinner all week. Like you can buy a chicken and put it in the crock pot. That's in like some vegetables. That's dinner
Hmm.
all week. Probably
Well,
for significantly less, actually.
I
And I
remember I had
mean,
a mate in the hospital who used to live only by buying military rations.
whoa.
Those are expensive.
Well,
Military rations, and they're
Yeah.
dense.
I wanted to buy some just for the fun of it, and I was like, dude, they were like they were at least $15 each. Let's see how much they are. I bet they're on Amazon.
oh really?
Those,
This guy, I don't know. I think his father was in the military and he got him for him.
Oh well, that he probably got a discount.
Mm.
Rations.
that shit is
All right,
dense.
here we go.
It can like block you up, too.
I got a listing here for $45 plus shipping and handling for 10. So that's like
Damn.
$4. That's $4. That's not that bad.
Okay.
Let's see what's in them. I remember looking and they were like $15 each. I was like, I'm not paying that much. Here we go.
Oh, look at this one. LGO Surplus 2022. It includes menu of 16 chicken and burritos.
Oh. I should try. You know what? I might actually order a case of these just to see what living off of them for a week is like.
Yeah.
Why don't you share the screen? I'm sure we want to see some. Or are you gonna dox yourself on Amazon?
Who?
It's
me?
on Amazon, and
Who, me?
also
No, I'm talking
it
to
doesn't.
Midnight.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
shows
it's
my
on
address.
Amazon. So,
Yeah, I can.
but also it does. It's just pictures of the bag. There's nothing interesting.
All right, well then, if you can do it, buy those military rations and tell and maybe next show you can tell us how they are.
Yeah, here's one. It's like $20 for one.
Oof. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see.
I think getting the 10 for 45 is a pretty good deal.
It's still $5 a pop. Like you can eat. You can eat at home for so much cheaper. Like I can make my own food. Like an egg costs. Well, now they're like $9, but
Unless you know
theory.
chicken farmers.
well, there are a bunch around me.
So,
Every other person where I am has chickens now. It's great.
all right. So make friends with a chicken farmer.
I'm working on it.
I mean, we have tons of chickens, so our eggs are like the store is probably marked up, but I think like maybe a half a dozen eggs at like the little corner market probably costs like, let's see, about two sold like a dollar and a half for 6 eggs. $1.50 for 6 eggs.
That's not bad. They're actually. I think that they were approaching like $6 around here, which is fucking ridiculous.
Indeed. But anyways, Midnight. I'm sure you have a lot of talk about this. SAG-AFTRA strike, along with the WGA Writers Guild strike.
Yeah. So just to start, I haven't even bothered to look at the specifics of why they're striking because I don't actually give a fuck why they're striking.
Well,
but like, of course, we're gonna talk about it now, but just before we even get into it, start with looking at the fucking product quality that they've been putting out over the last 8 years.
right.
You know,
Mostly trash. I think the last movie I saw in theaters was the Mario movie, and then I also wanted to see Renfield because that looked pretty cool.
I think the last movie that I saw in theaters was what's the Korean movie that everybody loved?
Parasite.
Which one though?
Parasite. Yeah.
Parasite.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a horror movie too. I was like, I thought it was good, but I was like, wait, this isn't a horror movie.
more like a psychological thriller, I guess. But what I heard, one of the reasons why they're striking is because of streaming
Yeah.
and Netflix.
Is it because they're not getting enough residuals from the streaming?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They
Yeah.
want their share for the streaming of the movies in which they appear.
because
I'm not gonna.
like
I'm not against residuals at all, but actors get paid to be in the movie. They get
Mhm.
paid for their work. They need to calm the fuck down.
Yeah, actually, Jess' boyfriend Pablo Arcadia was talking about this yesterday, and he mentioned that it's like when a construction worker builds a house for you. So that means that every time you use the house, the construction worker is gonna ask you for a commission.
Even more so, actors are fucking insufferable to work with. This is one of the reasons why, like, I backed off. It's a long story. I won't get into it. But actors are insufferable to work with because they all think that they run the fucking project. Like, I have a very Hitchcockian philosophy when it comes to actors. What's my motivation? Your fucking paycheck. Shut the fuck up, hit your mark, and do what you're told. But these days, actors all think that they're the creative, and no, you're not. Like, their egos are so overly inflated, and almost none of them can do what they're fucking told. And they're ultimately kind of creatively bereft because they aren't really that creative. They're mimics. They're monkeys. Dance, monkey. Fucking dance. Here's your fucking pellet.
banana.
Here's your banana. Yeah, here's your banana. Like, I once asked an actor. It was a bad idea. We were all drunk. Who was the girlfriend, I think now wife of this producer that I knew. I was like, why is it so hard for actors to just do what they're told? They always have to have opinions. Just do what you're told. And it was top 3 times that I've seen a woman go from 0 to cunt in under 2 seconds. Immediately, she was being an absolute cunt. And it's because they're so fucking entitled. And they don't understand what a job is. A job is fuck you, do what you're told, collect your paycheck. Sorry. I'm not sorry.
Now I got a question. Do you think things were better when they had the studio system or nah?
The movies were better. Look at the movies that came out during the studio system. Even the trash was good. Right?
Right. Yeah, like I'm trying to think of like a terrible movie from the studio system.
I'm not
The-
saying it was perfect, and I'm not saying that there weren't issues with it, but the movies were better.
I was gonna say The Room.
The Room came out. We're talking about the studio system was like from the
It was like the 40s,
20s,
50s,
20s through
yeah.
the
Okay.
60s.
The golden age of film happened because of the studio system.
Okay, so for example, The Godfather and all that.
Before that,
A little
even
older,
before
like
that.
Casablanca and
Uh,
not
for
Doctor
example,
Zhivago.
The Times of Chaplin, for
Psycho.
example.
What?
Charles Chaplin's movies, for example.
Yeah, because the
Yeah,
studio
they were
system
definitely
was like
part of
from
the
the
studio
20s to like
system.
the 60s, about 60s, 70s.
Yeah, because Chaplin was active during the 20s until the 50s, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, your movies like Casablanca, of How Green Was My Valley, Wizard of Oz, all made under the studio system.
Hmm.
Again, that doesn't mean that there weren't problems with the studio system and the people in it, but
Oh, of
the
course.
movies were so much fucking better.
Wizard of
Right.
Oz has a lot of very sad stories.
Yeah.
But
The way they treated Judy Garland was abhorrent.
Yeah, it was
I
nasty.
mean, putting
Poor girl.
a 16-year-old on barbiturates and uppers, and then she only, and what did she eat? Like only like thin soup and coffee and a cigarette.
Here's my
Mhm.
suggestion. Early life check the people who put her up to that.
Oh yeah. Louis B.
There's a
Mayer.
reason why they felt comfortable doing that to her.
And then the
Moo.
little girl, Shirley Temple, she got propositioned by not
Yeah.
not Louis B. Mayer, but maybe someone under him. And yeah, and he failed the early life check too.
They always do. So weird.
Uh, so SAG-AFTRA, the union that represents Hollywood actors, is joining the has joined the writers' strike against the film and TV companies, igniting
Where
the entertainment. What?
where was SAG-AFTRA when the government ended my career?
I don't know.
Complying.
Mm-hmm.
So
Staying home in their
fuck
little
'em.
mansions.
Yep.
Okay. So, igniting the entertainment industry's first dual shutdown in 63 years. So, the strike started on Thursday and picketed began on Friday morning. Tens of thousands of film and television actors and SAG must cease all work covered by their union contract. Let's see. Film and television productions will be shut down, and the reverberations and that extend beyond the actors going to set. And according to the guidelines, members of SAG-AFTRA will not be able to attend premieres, do interviews for completed work, go to award shows, attend film festivals, or even promote projects on social medias while the strike is in effect.
Yep, that's the reason why they are not going to San Diego Comic Con this year.
Yep, they even said that they're also not allowed to attend conventions. Oh, no, I think that was
Which
already. Because,
that just fucks over, like, not doing the conventions. Like, those conventions, not all of them, but like most of them are run by relatively small organizations, fan organizations. Not all of them, but like they're not huge.
yeah, because I just remembered, I think, one of, well, I don't know if it's an upcoming Comic Con or a past one, but one of the guests was Homelander, Anthony Starr.
Uh-huh.
And now this other convention that's coming up very soon, the Blue Ranger, the original Blue Ranger, Billy, uh, Yost.
David Yost.
Is that
Yeah, David
is that the
Yost.
guy? Is that the one that was like, I'm gay and they bullied me?
Yeah,
Yep.
that guy.
Yeah, okay.
But here's some more details. So the strike it's negotiations. It's because of AI, stream revenue sharing, pay hikes, and more. So let's see. Major studios SAG-AFTRA and the major studios remain at odds after as film and TV actors hit the picket lines Friday for the first time. So the biggest sticking point is the union's demand for 2% of revenue generated by streaming shows. So like where there's shows on like Netflix, Hulu, and all the other assorted like streaming services like Paramount and HBO Max. They also made it far apart on basic increase in minimum rates, with the studios offering 5%, 4%, and 3.5 across 3 years of the contract, while the union is demanding 11%, 4%, and 4%.
Actors have become too, like, I'm not saying people should be paid for their work. I don't, like, first of all, actors get way too rich.
Mm-hmm.
Way too rich. They've become way too powerful, and that's with their money. And that's a significant reason why their commie bullshit from their mansions is destabilizing our country. And B, I do think people, of course, I think people should be paid for their work, and you should always keep your contracts. But fuck them. Put them all out of work and start over again. Hollywood needs to be razed to the ground anyway.
And also, it's thing that they were discussing in Flashcast because they saying, "Oh my God, the Hollywood movies are not making enough money, and that's the reason why we want more." Well, that also is because they spend a shit ton of money in doing the movies. What happens to those
And
productions that were, I don't know, $50 million?
also the movies suck. So that's the gamble you take by getting in that kind of business. Like they're still getting paid. Like the actors all get paid their day rate, no matter
Yep.
how well the movie does. So I don't give a shit. Like you got paid, asshole. Get a job. You got paid, and your movie sucked, and you spread commie bullshit, and you probably have a significant role in why that movie sucked. So, A, you got paid. Do better work if you want more money. You
Well,
greedy fucks.
the thing is that if the movies keep sucking and sucking and sucking,
Right.
eventually the
Absolutely.
actor or the actress become tarnished and say, "No, I don't want to hear this bitch or this asshole because every movie he makes bombs." I think
Yeah,
that's
like
the
we
reason
saw with
why Daisy Ridley got less work after this Rise of Skywalker because they say, "No, this
She,
bitch ruined Star Wars. I don't want to work with her."
she was also a cunt.
Yeah,
right. Same
okay.
with what's her name? Brie Larson
Right. Yeah, exactly. She was also a
for
cunt.
Captain
She
Marvel.
attacked the fans of the franchise. Of course, you stupid bitch.
And she also made like
Dummy.
the newest one where it was like the black one and the brown one too, and she made them all like uncomfortable because she was being such a mega cunt.
Wait, the black one and the brown one. What are you talking
Monica Rambeau and the
Kamala Khan.
Muslim one,
Kamala Khan.
Oh, yeah,
the one with the giant fists.
yeah.
That she's gonna be revived as a mutant based on
So
recent
fucking
news.
stupid.
But this
Everyone is
is
everything.
but this is interesting, and they talk about this in Flashcast yesterday. Apparently, in the new X-Men comics, the mutants have their own religion. Okay,
The fuck?
This is so
so
gay.
so
This is
how
so
they're gonna
gay.
tackle this issue because Kamala Khan is Muslim? Are they gonna make
They're gonna
her
pretend like they're
ditch?
gonna play both sides. They're gonna like, you know that. Okay, you know that thing that chicks do when they act like two completely fucking opposite things can be true because they just don't want to be bothered to admit they're wrong about one of them. That's what
Yeah,
Yep.
they're gonna do.
but do you think they will take the risk with the Muslim religion?
They will sidestep having anything to say about Islam as much as they possibly can.
Let's gonna wait and see. I'm curious to see what
You know
they
what I mean?
do because the
They won't make it. They won't make it a thing where Kamala Khan is confronted with having to choose religions. They'll just ignore it and pretend that two contradictory belief systems can coexist without any sort of fucking conflict because they're stupid.
I I also want to
And
see the eventual Kamal Khan comes out as a troon.
I mean, she'll
or
definitely be a lesbian. Is she? Is she a lesbian yet?
no, not yet.
Give it a
Well,
week.
she's still like technically a teenager, I guess.
I think that the only reason they have not made her a lesbian is because she's Muslim, and I know that if they
Give
do
it
that,
time.
yeah,
You know that they've said. You
I
know that
know,
No,
they've
no,
been
I
like,
want
I
I
know
want
they
yeah,
the
want
I
it.
want the realistic one where Kamala comes out, says that she's a lesbian, and then her dad just hauls back and sends her to like Pakistan or whatever, and marries her off to like some 60-year-old dude with like
you know.
two wives already.
So here's the thing. That could be a good story because now she's got to escape, right? She's not going to stay
Hmm.
with the guy. She's got to escape, and she's got to deal with all of the family fallout around. You could write that really well if you had
Yeah,
a single ball in your sack.
and then maybe have her like dodge her parents trying to honor kill her.
Yeah.
I mean, because of that, Kamala has a lot of potential. I mean, I recall back in 2017, this guy Kiki Google, the friend of Canales, said, "Why the hell these guys don't write a story in which Kamala fights against ISIS?" There's
Or
a
the
lot of potential.
Because
Taliban.
they're cowards, and also production would
Exactly,
never let them.
exactly. But
Like,
Yeah,
if
that's
well
the
handled,
problem these days.
it
If
will
they want
kick
to do
ass.
like diverse characters, they're not afraid to get into the gritty shit. Like with Argy the Tar, I'm not opposed to like showing a guy getting fucking stabbed in the face with a screwdriver because that's what happened. That's what Ataras did, and blowing up people and all that shit. I'm not shying away from that. I'm saying, yeah, this is what happened. This is how they live. This is the reality.
It's like that illustration of Alex Ross in which Wonder Woman removes her hijab. It will never happen today.
Which one?
Wonder Woman removes her hijab or burqa.
Wonder
How's it
Woman
called?
had a hijab. What?
Her how's it that mantle that the Muslim women use?
Oh, it's a hijab.
Yeah,
Well,
that.
there's many different styles, but the one where it shows the face is the hijab.
Okay.
So yeah, so what they want, streaming revenue share, and they want 2% of that. Then they also want pay increases, which they want a 5% increase to most minimum rates in the first year of the contract, followed by increases of 4% and 3.5%. But well, that's what the AMPT, the Association of Motion Picture and Television Producers offered, but SAG-AFTRA wants 11%, 4%, and 4% over the 3 years. And
This
then
isn't being driven by low-level noob actors. Like they're going to pretend this is about struggling actors getting paid. It's not. It's about multi-millionaire actors who want to buy more property.
mhm.
That's what it's
They
about.
also want
It's
a they
about
also want a 230% increase in foreign streaming residuals.
yeah. These are rich people who are just mad that they're not getting richer, and mind you, they're rich people who already got paid for the work they did, and it was probably trash. Most of it was probably trash.
Hmm. And then, of course, the last one, which should be up higher, is artificial intelligence. Even though SAG-AFTRA is not seeking to ban AI, but wants to make sure that any use of a performer's likeness to generate a new performance is done with compensation and consent. So I guess so I won't get my my Al Pacino love story with Robert De Niro. I can't just go on the computer and type that in and
I'm actually in complete support of you should own your likeness completely until you contract it away. Now, the problem is most of these actors have probably contracted away their likeness in some sort of manner because you know how fucking management and production are that has already said, well, we own everything in perpetuity and we can do whatever we want. And they demboyed their way into being able to use it for AI. But if you're let's just say you're a brand new actor, leading man, leading lady, woman, whatever, until you sign away your likeness, you should own it entirely, and no one should be able to do anything with it without your contractual consent.
like I remember when I lived in Mexico, they would sell I remember they sold like picture frames, you know how they have like a fake picture. I noticed one of them was Scarlett Johansson, and I think another one was uh Goldie Hawn's daughter, Kate Hudson,
Yes.
because they were
That'll
just
get you sued.
yeah. I mean, they were just like they weren't like more like portrait photos, not like actual like promoting a movie, like just a portrait headshot.
But it was it? Are you saying that it was being sold in a like a picture frame?
Yeah,
Yeah, that'll get you sued.
as like one of those placeholder picture frames, so you could see like how the frame looks with the picture, that type of stuff.
Paulo Costa says, "Good evening, fellow bigots." Good evening, Paulo Costa.
Hey,
Hello, Porch Goose.
I mean, ultimately, this is all dumb boysing dumb boys. So I don't really care. They did nothing when the government ended my career, so they can go fuck themselves. And I hope they end up fucking under a goddamn bridge sucking dicks for crack money. honestly, because the whole fucking industry needs to be raised.
Oh, I mean, it would be. I mean, it would be cool to like have the AI prompt and then just type in, "Okay, I want a movie starring Humphrey Bogart, Robert De Niro, and James
Well, I
Cagney."
mean, there is a way that that can be done without violating
Mm-hmm.
likeness, because there, if you go to if you hire Canales to do a drawing of Scarlett Johansson, he's not going to get sued.
Right.
Do they
Mm,
have a legal right to do that? Maybe, but I think he has to publish it first. And even then, maybe. It's not completely there. So there are ways to do like stuff like that. It's when you publish it for profit that it becomes, you know what I mean?
but for example, Midnight, let's use these guys from South Park who always use celebrities.
Right. And I don't think that. So what covers them on that is parody.
Okay.
I don't know how it is in Mexico, but parody and satire is very strictly protected in this country. It's very, very hard to sue a parody satirist in the U.S. People have tried and they get fucked.
Yeah, because I remember that also they made this movie called Team America, and the villains in the story are the celebrities.
Yeah, and also Kim Jong Il and no, I don't think they had a puppet of Osama bin Laden, just random Taliban guys.
Yep.
But I mean, good luck to Kim Jong Il trying to file fucking likeness lawsuits in the U.S.
Well, Kim Jong Il would
you
have
know what I mean?
probably Kim Jong Il would have probably been pleased that he was in a movie, even though maybe he probably wouldn't know that it was a parody.
I guarantee you that if Matt Stone or Trey Parker stepped into North Korea, they would disappear within 2 minutes.
It reminds me of that time in which they interviewed Russell Crowe and they asked him, "Hey, do you saw the South Park?" So, yeah, I saw it. They say, and they ask you any kind of advice to use your likeness. No, they didn't.
All right.
No, and they don't have to, because in the U.S., just parody is very strongly protected. It's part of First Amendment.
Okay.
Canales does the better impression of South Park Russell Crowe.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Come on, Taga. But oh, they also have more self-taped auditions. SAG-AFTRA wants to limit the use of self-taped auditions.
That's when you have to send in like a videotape or something to get a role.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are stupid and they look bad. Like, I don't know. And the problem is that a lot of times studios will claim ownership of that self-taped audition, and then they'll do whatever they want with it. Like, but they're embarrassing. Honestly, they're embarrassing and they don't look good very often.
And then of course the pension health contributions and Actors Access, which is a website that holds a virtual monopoly on the posting of casting notices. The site has a free tier and a premium tier, and there's a fee to upload reels, and then SAG-AFTRA argues that those who pay for premium tier get preferential treatment. And the union wants to mandate that actors seeking work under the contract would not have to pay for access to jobs.
A lot of pay to play. A lot of pay to play.
Option periods for TV actors, background actors. They want, most importantly, New York and Los Angeles. They want to cover people outside of those two. And then the last one is performance capture.
Is that the AI? Are they talking about AI?
I think it's like, maybe it's like the CGI, like what Andy Serkis did for Gollum and the monkeys in Planet of the Apes. I think that's what they mean. Maybe. Let's see. Should cover performance capture, acting, performance capture. Yeah. So if you're doing like a CGI character, you also need to be like compensated. But yeah, that's what they all want. That's what the SAG-AFTRA wants. I mean, I get their reasoning for like at least the AI. I mean,
Yeah, but ultimately, it's
and
just fucking rich people getting
but
screwed by
the
other rich people.
residuals for streaming.
I'm not saying I'm
uh,
against residuals. I am saying that, you know, you're rich enough. Just keep that in mind.
but anyways, one such actor is taking some action.
Oh, fuck this guy.
Let's see.
One thing before I get off this. The motherfucker who said we're going to keep this thing going until people start losing their houses and their apartments.
Okay, quick question before I continue. Did something happen to Ron Perlman's face? Because it looks like this eye is like he got punched in the face or something like that.
Adrenochrome, clot shot, getting old, all of the above.
I mean, Ron Perlman isn't the most handsome guy out there. He's not doing anything for me, and I have specific tastes in actors, non-conventionally beautiful actors, but yeesh, he's not doing good.
Listen to me, motherfucker. There's a lot of ways to lose your house. Some of it is financial.
Pause it for 1 second.
Some of it is karma.
Remember what Ron Perlman has been saying about Trump supporters for years.
Oh yeah.
When you hear his righteous indignation about this. Please continue.
And some of it is just figuring out who the said that. And we know who said that. And where he lives. There's a lot of ways to lose your house. You wish that on people. You wish that families starve while you're making $27 million a year for creating nothing. Be careful, motherfucker. Be really careful.
We could easily be talking about you, Ron.
What was that?
The same. I mean, this could all be said exactly about him.
Yeah,
Right.
during the pandemic that happened.
Yep.
Stir shit up. Peace out.
You know something that I just remembered? This
What?
is empty, because when Trump lost the election, and Midnight knows it, a lot of projects and constructions were canceled, and many coal workers and energy workers were left out of job. And these assholes were mocking them, and they're the ones who told them, "Learn to code."
Oh, dude, I was just gonna say, how about you learn to code, Ron?
Yeah, I just
learn to
remembered that.
code.
And the same goes for the writers who are striking right now. Some of them were the ones who told these construction workers, or whatever you want to know, learn to code.
Learn to code. Learn to I can't speak. Learn to code. Learn to use AI to your advantage.
This
Like
whole
what I'm doing.
situation is a meta on why I dislike unions. Because they're just a bunch of NPCs. They're just saying the same shit.
I mean, at one point, unions had purpose, but now they've just gone too big. I mean, I used to be a Teamster.
Imagine if any pick your union actor came out and said, excuse me, hey, remember when you guys applauded Remember when we all applauded construction workers losing their jobs after Trump lost the election? Don't you think this is a little bit hypocritical of us? That actor would never work again. That's why I fucking hate unions.
Yeah. So, as we saw from his little hissy fit, Ron Perlman is super pissed at the studio executive who wants to bleed striking writers dry. The Hellboy star, well, he deleted this. He deleted the video, but TMZ,
Oh, really?
Yeah, but props to
That's
TMZ
not-
for saving that video for posterity. Please do not copyright strike us for showing it on our show.
There's a good chance he got a visit from somebody. Or his
Perhaps.
lawyer said, dude, what are you doing?
Or his manager.
Yeah.
You gave him the
Probably the same
Kanye
thing.
treatment. You know?
Yep. Well, he's never gonna get the Kanye treatment. He's too special for that.
Well,
if you get my meaning.
He gets the lightest version of the Kanye treatment.
He's not just cattle to be used.
no, they simply is gonna get blacklisted. That he's not get casted in anything.
Nah, he won't get blacklisted. That won't happen. I mean, any more than anyone else participating in that strike.
I mean, these guys are assholes, and Bob Iger is very, very asshole in that aspect.
What's that, Porch Goose? Ron Perlman is like De Niro, another example of an actor who plays tough guys but is a soy boy when real life comes at him.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, at least Al Pacino, he can still, he's still a spicy boy. He doesn't give a shit. So
Has Johnny Depp say anything about all this?
no, I haven't seen anything about about Johnny Depp, but here I don't know.
He'll stay very quiet about it. He won't say anything.
Because Hollywood practically gave him the finger, so I will be surprised.
Yeah, he'll just keep doing his music for now. He won't say anything about it.
You know, this guy kind of looks like Kevin Costner, but I can't tell. But let's see. In the video we saw Ron was angry. He said, "Listen to me, motherfucker. There's a lot of way to lose your house. Who cares?" I only recognize Pete Davidson. I don't know who these two people are.
It's also hard to see them without like stage makeup on. Like you don't necessarily recognize who they are.
Let's see. Blah blah. He continued with the rant, and then it comes in response to a Deadline article this week that quotes an anonymous studio executives as revealing their strike plan is to let writers fall into dire straits in order to force a studio-friendly deal. And then, I don't know if I want to subject your ears to this, but the current president, Fran Drescher.
Mr. Sheffield.
Oh, Mr. Sheffield.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, would.
She. Really?
Yeah. Look, man, I can't help it.
I mean, I hope you have a steady supply of like earplugs.
I'd
I
have to fucking stick an ice pick in my own ears to handle it, but you know.
Okay.
Here's what I got to see how long Fran Drescher. That sounds like an ex-girlfriend, honestly.
Oh shit.
Oh right. I remember you were talking about having a little nose girlfriend.
I've had a couple, dude. I've had a good reasonable percentage of my ex-girlfriends have been providers of Khazar milk.
Uh, don't. What's Portuguese says? I thought Fran Drescher was already an AI creation. She wishes she still had the nanny body.
Oh, this is interesting. She was okay. So she was SAG-AFTRA. No, she got elected SAG-AFTRA president in 2021. She was running against Matthew Modine.
Oh, he's not
and
too bad. He's from.
No, he's pretty bad. He's pretty
Oh.
bad.
I only
Yeah.
remember him from Full Metal Jacket, and I thought he did.
He was great in Full Metal Jacket. But he's an actor.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see who her predecessor was.
I think it was Robert De Niro, or that was
really
before even that. I
I
don't know. Let's see.
I got it.
Okay, you got it?
Yeah, SAG presidents. Whoa. Let's see. Well, but it only goes up to 2012. Why does it only go up to 2012? That's weird.
Okay.
Up to 2012, it was Ken Howard.
That's Ron Howard's little brother, I think.
Is that who that is?
Or he's one of. I think he's related to Ron Howard.
Yeah, it's so weird. It only goes up to 2012.
However, it says Fran Drescher 2021 to the present, Gabriel Carteris 2016-2021.
There it is. So
Melissa
Gabriel
Gilbert
Carteris was president when they were shutting down the industry. And she's just a voice actor. She's just a voice actor.
That's what she played Andrea on.
Yeah, she was the bitch in Beverly Hills. Yeah.
Oh, is that who that? Oh,
yeah,
God.
That's Andrea.
Oh, my God. Now I see it. Okay, holy shit. So. I see Hero92694 Abel is in chat.
Yo, what up?
Hi, guys. Just got back from El Pollo Loco. Man, I haven't had that in a minute. That chicken is
Loco.
Pretty good.
That thing exists? I think it was just an invention. Holy shit.
No, it's real. It's pretty good, too. Paulo Costa says, I thought Fran Drescher already was an AI creation.
I thought I already put that up, but okay. History repeated. Lisa Marie Presley, opiates found in system, small bowel obstruction was the cause of death that led to her cardiac arrest. And remind me, how did Daddy Elvis die?
Yeah. That's sad. I mean, it's tragic, man.
When did she pass away?
Was it like June or July? Let me see. So
was it that recent? For some reason I thought it was last year.
It was just May. Oh, hold on. Okay. It says Lisa Marie Presley died from small bowel obstruction, according to the LA County coroner. The exact name of the condition is sequelae of small bowel obstruction, which means Lisa Marie died of complications resulting from a small bowel obstruction. But since her death, there's been a lot of drama. Priscilla was fighting the oldest daughter, Riley, over Lisa Marie's trust. So
fighting over dead people's money is so gross.
Yeah.
I would never do it. Like, even if I had a relative being like, hey, Midnight, you're supposed to get $1 million in my will. And people started fighting over it, I'd be like, fucking keep it, you faggots. Mm-hmm. The person matters more.
Yeah. Well, she was also taking Well, she was also taking weight loss meds and was fresh off of plastic surgery.
Oof.
Oh, she passed away in January.
People get way too many surgeries without thinking about, like, your body isn't really meant to go through that sort of trauma that often.
Yeah. Oh,
or at all.
And the update says that there was therapeutic levels of oxycodone in her blood, and then
Therapeutic my ass.
buprenorphine, which is treated opioid overuse. And obviously, opioids can cause constipation, which what happened to Elvis? He took a bunch of heroin, got blocked up, tried to take a shit, and then there he goes.
I mean, that happened over time. It happens over time. It's not like you take heroin once and then you get a bowel obstruction. It's like chronic use, chronic abuse of opiates is what leads to that.
Right. Hold on. I have speaking of fat people full of shit. Where are you? I am sending a message to our very own Elvis impersonator.
You would actually make a really good Elvis impersonator.
I know. That's why I told him that if we ever get married, we have to get married in Las Vegas in one of those chapels where they have the Elvis Presley, and he has to dress like Elvis Presley.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He had to dress like Elvis.
I'm not against that.
No,
that's the only way. That's the only way I will accept marriage. That's the only way I will accept marriage from him.
You know, Midnight, I was thinking about you say of plastic surgery. Because look at Lindsay Lohan. She's like, what, 37, 38? And she looks wasted.
I don't even know what she looks like at 37, 38.
Oh.
She doesn't look good. And I was thinking, because today is the birthday of Rosa Salazar. By the way, shout out to the great Rosa Salazar. Happy birthday. And she looks amazing, but despite the fact that she's the same age as Lindsay Lohan.
Well, as I wait for a response from the lard tard, there were also traces of quetiapine, an antipsychotic drug. And the bowel obstruction, it's an antipsychotic drug, they say. And they say that that the bowel obstruction, it wasn't like constipation, it was a form of a strangulated small bowel caused by adhesions that developed after bariatric surgery, where she got a gastric bypass.
It's Seroquel.
Yeah.
So the reason that do you guys know what Seroquel is?
No.
Is it a SSRI?
I don't think so. But it's a very popular. So here's the list of what it treats: atypical antipsychotic, schizophrenia, bipolar, borderline personality disorder, and major depressive order. Remember, I
need to get
for a short period
Okay.
For a short period of time, I worked at a facility, and I was amazed at, because I remember, like, I dipped my toes into understanding what everything did, and I was amazed at how much Seroquel they were. There are a couple of drugs, clozapine, Clozaril. Clozaril is another one. Seroquel and Clozaril are two drugs that I saw, and I'm like, wow, you guys are, for what this does, you're prescribing a lot of it.
Oh.
So she had severe shrink issues. Severe, like not a little bit, a lot.
Let's see.
And it probably wasn't.
Quickly, Paul Costa says I need to get a Priscilla Presley hairdo. Just, maybe, but my hair isn't cut out for that style. I tried doing like the ratted 60s look for like a wedding once, and it did not turn out very well. Hero says, I got a response that Lindsay Lohan actually looks great now. And then she's also off the drugs. Oh, my
There's
good buddy Giggles says, shout out to my buddy Giggles from the Mexican subreddit Discord. What's the Spag Strike about?
Yeah, Giggles is correct. It's about rich people not getting richer. It's exactly.
Yeah.
Dem boysing dem boys.
They want all the Gibbs. But yeah, everyone say hello to my friend Giggles, my
Hello,
my
Giggles.
amigo from the Mexican subreddit.
Hey, Giggles from the Mexican subreddit.
The subreddit for the Mexican, the Discord for the Mexican subreddit, I should say. So yeah, Lisa Marie pretty much died in the same way Elvis did.
Yeah.
What a shame.
Taken advantage of by a show business managerial class, doped out of her mind and fucking left to rot. Really sad.
And also her
Hollywood
mom
needs
was
to be destroyed.
Yeah, and also her mom was also a sci-fag.
Yeah. I mean, Scientology, I've started to suspect that I'm not going to praise Scientology, but like with Tom Cruise, I think Scientology is why Hollywood didn't eat him alive, and they probably took a few good bites out of him.
Perhaps. But let's go to our cover photo.
Jess, do you ever saw that video of El Bananero with Tom Cruise?
No, I haven't yet. I should,
shit.
but I also know him from the South Park episode. Dad, Tom Cruise is trapped in the closet. No, get out. Oh. Was Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky ignored at NATO summit? From the Hindustan Times. A picture of Ukrainian President Zelensky standing alone at the NATO summit has sparked speculation that the world leaders turned their back on him.
Has India sent anything to Ukraine?
I don't think so.
I doubt they will. There's a reason for that.
Yeah, look at him. He looks like the little kid. Like his mom is talking to like your best friend, and he's just a little kid just standing off to the side, just waiting. He's like, "Mom, hurry up." A picture of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky from the recent concluded NATO summit is doing the rounds on the social media and prompting numerous reactions from people. I can't.
He looks like Trudeau. He looks like Trudeau when Trump snubbed him.
Good old Castro. I don't want to do the Indian voice anymore. So the picture, so this picture is doing the rounds, and a lot of memes are being made. I even made one for the show as our thumbnail. The picture taken ahead of the social dinner shows Zelensky standing alone while other delegates can be seen interacting with each other. While Zelensky can be standing alone, his wife Olena is seen interacting with a delegate. And many started tweeting this picture, saying that delegates were unhappy, probably sick of their shit, and his country's membership in NATO. And then this Igor Lopetenak shared the picture and wrote result of the NATO summit in Vilnius in one's photo.
What did they say about Ukraine getting into NATO? Because it makes it even funnier.
Let me see. Does it say? No one else. This Roberto says, no one else wants to take a picture with him, hug him, rub his shoulder. The whole essence of Zelensky's role at NATO summit in one photo.
Yeah, they snubbed him just as well, a little bit more weaselly, but they snubbed him. They're not going to give They're not going to let
Yeah.
Ukraine into NATO.
And then here
They're
they are,
using-
like, yeah.
It's all money laundering. They're using it to fucking rip off taxpayers, rip each other off, and launder the money.
Yeah,
And it's always funny to me when the puppets think that they're not puppets. What did you think was going to happen, retard? You fucking dummy.
in this picture here, it's like they were trying to get their entry into NATO. And it looks he just looks like the little kid who's just like here's the president and the teacher, and they're like supposed to like give him an award for being like a perfect attendance or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one is they were welcomed at an informal dinner by Lithuanian President Gitanas Nausėda and his wife Diana, who arrived at the event. And then look at him. He's a fucking manlet. I don't know if they're tall. I don't know if they're tall in Lithuania, but holy shit, he's like this dude has little short man syndrome, I believe. Giggle says, shocking, thought it was something more important, wasted time looking for info about the strike. Paulo says, Ukrainian warehouse workers wanders into wrong party. Yeah. And then he also says, Volvo should pay more attention to the EU than to NATO. The only reason Europe is in this war now is that so Germany can have unfettered access to Ukraine's national gas.
That's not the only reason. There's more to it, but that is a reason.
But yeah, and
There's a lot more to it. Remember this: Ukraine has been the Mos Eisley for globalists for 20 years now. Has it been 20? Something like 20 years, maybe longer. It's been Mos Eisley. There's a bunch of shit there that they need to not be found. And if Putin takes pieces of the Ukraine, he also takes the buildings that hold the proof. And he will be very motivated to do something about those people if he finds that proof. And justified in what he does.
Holy shit, the Lithuanian first lady is taller than him. This looks like an awkward family photo. Like here's dad and mom looking all nice, and then here's Sonny Jim not even bothering to dress up in a suit and tie.
Well, he's playing soldier.
Yeah.
He's playing soldier.
Manlet. He has short man syndrome. Let's see. About the NATO summit. It was 2 days over July 11th to 12th in Vilnius, Lithuania, to address the challenges that the alliance is facing and to further strengthen NATO's deterrence and defense. Along with this, the leaders of 31 member states also joined hands to make Ukraine even stronger with a multi-year program of assistance to support their armed forces and upgrade their political ties. I mean, obviously this picture like shows that they're sick of his shit. He's like, give monies, give, and they're like.
But he's doing what they want him to do. They're not sick of his shit. It's their shit. He's doing their shit. What they're doing is they're sort of reminding the puppet that he's a puppet.
Oh, do you smell that? Oh God! Finally, you roll in.
Hola.
Sorry, I
Hola.
didn't see you
Smells
before. I was doing my thing.
Saffron and pork grease.
Yeah.
Doesn't this thing smell like paella?
Miguel says that he's gonna ask his Lithuanian friend for average male height.
And next he's gonna say, "Oh, sorry, I have to go because it's too late and I have to sleep."
Yeah.
Shut up. Shut up. I'm gonna put nigger on you.
You old. Yeah, you just missed the part where I said where we were talking about Lisa Marie Presley, and I said the only way that I'd only marry you is that if we go to Las Vegas, we get married in the church ran by an Elvis impersonator, and you are also dressed as Elvis.
Jokes on you. I'm always dressed as Elvis.
But
Whether
we're
I'm
going
getting
to do the
married or
contrast.
not.
We're gonna contrast. I want to find a pastor who looks like young Elvis, and you can be the old, fat, bloated '70s Elvis.
That's actually the best Elvis.
Just walk in with like your aviators and like your gut hanging out of your sparkly jumpsuit.
I think I'm just gonna bust my hip just so I can properly impersonate Elvis.
Yeah, but anyways, Zelensky is a manlet. He was the little puppet boy.
Well, that explains things, doesn't it?
Yeah. So
It's like Napoleon on crack. He thinks he can take on Russia in the winter.
Napoleon was competent. He just made a major mistake. But like
That's what
within the realm,
I mean, that's you. You get to emperor. Not by being an idiot.
yeah, he was very competent. He just got overconfident. If he had kept his just like a certain other dictator, if he had kept his goals more realistic, he would have remained.
He would have been cool. He would have been a cool dictator.
speaking of Napoleon, who's going? Is anyone interested in seeing the Napoleon film with Joaquin Phoenix when it drops?
No.
Not really.
Not really.
I've seen the trailer and I thought it was. It's a Ridley Scott movie.
So it's gonna have androids and pointless religious commentary.
I don't know.
What I'm
Really?
interested in doing is like reading an accurate and good biography of Napoleon and then seeing where they intentionally make it wrong and insert diversity bullshit.
Mm.
Yeah,
Because you know they're gonna do it.
Like,
That
they,
actually
make
that
a
would make
Napoleon.
a good movie. Like have a
Yeah,
production
we'll be
where
over
they're
as
doing a
Napoleon.
historical figure and then they replace everyone with like a diversity hire.
Well,
That'd be a good idea for a movie.
well, let's remember that we already had a movie of Mussolini with Antonio Banderas.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, Antonio. Spain and Italy are sort of still in the same haplogroups.
I would argue that the Italians are better looking than us. No, I'm just saying we're more like I don't know, but I think especially Italian women are better looking than Spanish women. That's a fact.
Well, I think you're
I
cute,
agree with
at
I
least.
thank you.
Well, now that
Okay.
you're here, you fat, disgusting pile of lard, we need your commentary. Spanish comic strip
Oh
artist
yeah,
Francisco Ibanez.
yo
Ibanez.
Ibanez.
Yeah,
Say
they forgot
say
the
his name.
tilde. They forgot the tilde. Fucking gringos.
Fantastic guitars.
That was Narciso Ibanez.
Dies at age
Yep.
87.
Oh,
So
okay.
Francisco Ibanez Talavera, Spain's best known comic artist of the late 20th century, who wrote the famous comic book Mortadelo and Filemon, has died in Barcelona.
Barcelona
grew
used to
up.
be like comic book capital of Spain, like the best
Barcelona.
comics in Barcelona. You gotta use that lisp. You wanna sound like a proper Spaniard. You gotta have the lisp. Barcelona.
So he grew up in Barcelona where he started drawing on the corner of his father's newspaper, having no other paper to work on at his family home. And then at the age of 11, he was paid 5 pesetos for his first cartoon in the comic Cheetos. But on the advice of his father, he studied accounting and worked for a bank after leaving college.
Because that's
And
what
then-
Spanish fathers are for.
hmm
Never encourage your kids, Spanish fathers.
And then
Aw.
In that regard, I can consider myself lucky because my dad always encouraged my artistic inclinations. He actually bought me my first rotring set.
Aw.
Oh, I thought that he beat some shit into you.
That too.
Yeah.
Those two are not. No, they are
¿Por
not
qué no
mutually
los
exclusive.
dos?
¿Por qué no los dos?
¿Por qué?
You say that as if they were mutually exclusive, and they're not.
Yeah. So I'm looking for something to show off the creativity of uh Mortadella
But
and Phil, but
is there a question somewhere in here? Because I remember you guys asking me for my commentary on Francisco
yeah,
Ibanez.
so what is it? So what do you think? 1950, he created
Well,
Mortadelo and Philemon, featuring two secret agents who worked for the TIA, a period of the CIA.
well, yeah, he was the Spanish comic book creator prime. He was what every Spanish comic book creator aspired to be because he went international. I think he got translated to, I don't know, 6 different languages. I think.
I know
I don't know if. Yes, sir. Go
I
ahead.
know I know they have a cartoon and they translated into English, but I don't think the
Hmm.
English dub is really good.
Yeah, well, that's what happened with cartoons. That's why Stanley Kubrick insisted on having actual movie and theater actors dubbing his movies to Spanish, which was a fuck up because turns out in Spain it's the opposite. It's actually the voice actors the ones who are good, and the
Mhm.
movie and theater actors the ones who are shitty. But yeah, yeah, Josep Tutain, yeah, it's a fucking legend.
Yeah.
Talent agency, rich sweatshop in Barcelona selling Spanish-made artwork. Yeah, I completely believe that. That's probably where what's his name from Judge Dredd fame become famous? Carlos Ezquerra. Yes, know that guy.
Not quite.
He visually created Judge Dredd. He was like the
Okay.
visual, the artistic creator of Judge Dredd. He was Spanish.
Oh yeah, he's the guy, and he also drew the other one that I like. You know which comic I like. Al's Baby.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was Carlos Ezquerra as well. Yeah, I know you like that comic, you little bird. But anyway, yeah,
But
it's a tragedy because Ibanez was a massive influence, and I gotta say, here's the thing: Ibanez perfectly captured what it means to be Spanish, because the story is about two guys who are secret agents. They work as secret
oh,
agents for like the retarded cousin of the CIA, called the TIA, which in
or
Spanish
Tia.
means tia, which means aunt or broad girl. Yay, Spanish humor. And they basically fuck up every mission via being arrogant and stupid. And every comic strip ends with them running away because their superiors want to beat the shit out of them. So it's about being arrogant and stupid, and then eluding responsibility, which is like
And this
the
this
two
guy,
pillars of being Spanish.
and this guy in the red pants, he's like supposed to be like a James Bond type.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, that's Philemon. He's supposed to be like the good looking dandy like of the two, but like everybody thinks he's ugly and stupid.
And then
That's
Mortadella is like his like assistant and gives him like all the things. But
yeah.
uh,
Mortadelo is
that
like it's like the funny assistant who changes disguise. He's like a master of disguise,
mm,
and he's always randomly disguising a stuff that may
all
not have
right,
anything to do with what's going on screen. On
bye
I don't know.
gigs.
Did this
He's
have
gonna do a vandalism.
I enjoyed it.
Okay,
have fun?
try to get alive.
Did this have an effect on like a inspirational effect on like Inspector Gadget?
Mm,
I
Spy
dare not
versus Spy?
say. I did not say. I dare not say it didn't, because this is from the 1960s, and Inspector Gadget
Yeah.
is from the 80s, right?
Yeah, and
I
like because there was the chief in Inspector Gadget was always disguised as like a potted plant or like a
You're right.
lamppost.
hmm. Let me
And
look
he
that up.
also, yeah. Look, Google that shit up, because now that you mention it, I think Inspector Gadget's boss also vaguely resembles the superintendent, who's like the boss of these two guys. So
Mm.
holy shit, you may have a point. I mean, this guy may have been even more influential than I thought.
Chief Quimby.
Chief Quimby. Uh,
Yeah.
no, let me see.
You know, not now that you mentioned this topic about that, Ibanez was managed to represent the culture of the Spanish individual.
Mm,
It's interesting because it seems that at some point in every culture, there is an artist like him who represents the best of their society. Well, the
yeah,
most iconic traits,
captures what it means, what it means to be that particular nationality.
exactly, because in the case of
Well,
Spain, we have Francisco Ibanez. In the case of Mexico, I'll say it's Gabriel Vargas because with the Familia Burron, he captured that, the essence of the Mexican.
Mm,
let's see. Actually, he was based off of Maxwell Smart from Get Smart and Inspector Clouseau from the Pink Panther.
Well, that's Inspector Gadget, but Chief Quimby is a different character
Let
in
me
that
see.
show. It's
Let's
you're not going to find something. You just got to figure it out yourself. Like if you look at Chief Quimby in the
yeah,
show,
here,
he's all he's
yeah,
a
I have this guy on screen. I am sharing screen. I don't know if you guys want to put that on so you can compare.
Well, right now I'm sharing. Oh,
There you go.
okay.
Actually, the guy who plays in live action, that's Dabney
that's
Coleman,
Dabney
right?
Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dabney Coleman. He could have
I'm
played
always going to
this.
know.
Yeah, I'm gonna share
I know who
again.
Dabney Coleman is.
He's a great guy. Just to like him as a kid. Uh, and now he's the super, just like the Super Nintendo. No, sorry, no.
Super Nintendo.
Super
Super Nintendo
Nintendo.
Chalmers. But yeah, Fat One,
Yeah, serious.
can you kindly translate what this panel from Morton Phil is saying for good
He's
English
saying, hey,
people?
don't rough him up. That's one of your. That's one of yours, and he's of a superior rank.
Um, is this available in English translation?
Yeah.
I think it is. I think it was called Clever and Smart, but I don't know if that's the
Yeah. Well,
actually is.
but I thought in Germany it was called Clever and Smart, but
Yeah,
maybe in English too.
yeah, it's in English, clever and smart.
Yeah, I was share. By the way, I was sharing my screen just so you can take a look at the Super Mortadelo Filemon. I don't know if you're still interested in it.
That's it.
There you go.
Oh.
It's
I mean,
kind of
dude.
small,
It's very small.
but you can see
Kind
it,
of
right?
small,
It,
but
I guarantee you that the people, whoever was writing and drawing Inspector Gadget, was into Morton Phil.
Mortonville. That's the Spanish version.
perhaps.
So yeah, it was like I think it was the first Spanish comic book to become international, and
Really?
I know it got yeah. I think if it wasn't the first one, it was the biggest one because I remember I mean, not him personally, but at least the people who enshrined Ibanez made a point of letting everyone know that he was like this international artist. That's what we all should aspire to be. Like translated to several different languages, known all over the world. Like went to cons at like the UK, in France and stuff, in Angoulême.
Hmm.
He also had a cartoon.
Oh yeah, they made several cartoons and I think two live action movies and one CGI movie.
I like the CGI movie.
Yeah, Mortadelo was voiced by Basque actor Carra Lejalde of 8 Basque surnames fame.
Yeah, and Axi Mutante, that's
Mhm,
Manitas.
He was Manitas. He was handyman in
R
Acción
R
Mutante.
R.I.P. Manitas who got eaten by the weird mutated space cat they kept on their ship.
You guys seen that movie? Acción Mutante.
We need
Mutant
to.
action. Yeah, we need to do a watch party one of these days.
Is it available in English?
It was available in English, right? Yes, we saw it with subtitles.
No, it's
Oh.
Spanish, but I don't know if there's one with I think I can put subtitles on, but the subtitles are weird. They're
Yeah,
not
Paulo
like
Costa is
lined up.
right. Like, uh, Couto made it outside Spain in the 60s, but Mortadelo and Filemon reached Asterix and Lucky Luke levels of fame for a while. That's true. That's true. Like,
Hmm.
Mortadelo and Filemon was like the Spanish Lucky Luke or Spanish Asterix.
Yeah.
I need to get I need to get some Asterix books. Cause I think the only Asterix film I watched so far was the live action one where they're in Egypt,
That's the best one, by the way.
the Cleopatra one
Ah,
Mm,
yeah,
that's the
with
it's
best one.
it's one of the best.
Christian Clavier
Christian
as
Clavier.
as Asterix, aka he's the peasant in Just
Yeah, and
Visiting
just visiting. Just visiting is another brilliant movie.
with Jean Reno as, I know in the English they called him Hubert, but what was his name in French?
Uh,
Who? The
it was
Obelix
no,
Carex?
no. We were going on a on a tangent. Now we're talking about a movie called Just Visiting. It's a French movie.
Or Les
Mm.
Visiteurs.
Oh yeah, oh no, the animated movie. I loved it as a kid. It was one of my favorite animated movies as a kid.
Uh-huh.
I remember laughing my ass off when I
But
was a
but
little
I
boy.
mean Monica Bellucci. Come on.
Monica Bellucci. Enough said. Enough said.
And
Actually, Monica Bellucci,
and Gerard
ethnically, I mean,
Depardieu is Obelix.
Yep.
I gotta say that's in that movie, everyone is brilliantly cast. I think I was saying that ethnically, I think Monica Bellucci is closest than anyone else to what the real Cleopatra should have been, because she's Italian, since
Mhm.
Cleopatra was Mediterranean, was of Greek descent. So she probably looked like that in real life.
Well, in the first Asterix movie, the villain is Roberto Benigni, isn't it?
Oh,
No, I remember.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, he's a Roman. He plays a Roman, right?
Yeah, he plays a Roman who betrays Caesar.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh.
Well, he's Italian, so yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, I think it was brilliant casting, like Christian Clavier as Asterix, and the fattest guy
Gerard
in France,
Depardieu.
Gerard Depardieu. Is the fattest guy in France, so of course he had to be Obelix.
You know, he was pretty fit in The Man in the Iron Mask.
That was in the
98.
90s,
Yep.
98. Yeah, well, he still looked like a human being before he ate himself
Oh, okay.
and
Another
became
one for
planet-sized.
you. Another one for you, you fat greasy bastard. And then we have one more story, and then we're done. Star bodybuilder Gustavo Bedel, known as the Freakin' Rican, dead at 50.
Oh, I thought he was older.
So, star bodybuilder Gustavo Badel, known as the Freakin' Rican, died, his friend announced on Thursday. Apparently, I heard that he died of. They say that the details of his death are not yet unknown, but they said that he died of a stroke. And this
I
also
mean,
comes on. What?
bodybuilders dying in their 50s shouldn't be surprising.
Yeah.
Steroids are bad for you.
And this also comes on the heels of the last show where we talked about Joe Aesthetics, the German bodybuilder guy who died of a aneurysm.
I mean, wasn't that the age or around the age in which Arnold had to have like a bypass installed or something? Like he had to have
Oh, that
heart
sounds
surgery
right. Yeah.
in like early 50s.
Really?
Yeah,
Like,
I think he was like just before he made End of Days, and that's
oh,
why he doesn't have like a shirtless shot in it, because he still like he was like the chunky, because he hadn't been able to work out, and he like still surgery traces and shit.
Stitches,
mm.
yeah. I woke up this morning to the information that Gustavo has passed away. Eddie Abu, Badel's friend and co-competitor, released in a statement. My heart goes out to his family and friends. Gustavo was 10 years younger than me. It was always sad when a young person is taken away long before their time. Rest in peace. You'll be missed. He was one of the top bodybuilders, and in 2004, in 2005, and he finished in third place in the Mr. Olympia competition. But even though he was called the freaking Rican, he actually spent the first 20 years of his life in Venezuela. Yep, born in Venezuela, he launched his bodybuilding career at 19 and moved to Puerto Rico in his early 20s. He, along with the Mr. Olympia, he also competed in the Arnold Classic, the World Pro Championships, Ironman Pro, and the Atlantic City Pro. And he retired in 2012. But he has been active online promoting personal fitness. And look at that!
I
Look at those
mean,
biceps, veins for
I don't
days.
I don't know if that counts as fitness. I've had this love hate relationship with bodybuilding since like forever. And I work out mostly because I don't want to be like a terminal fat ass. I still want to have
Mhm.
like a certain degree of fitness because I'm a professional fighter basically. So, but I don't think this is fit because this is mostly aesthetic. I don't think these guys can run a mile without collapsing.
Yeah.
So that's
Well, they
not
don't
really
do
fit in my book.
they don't
Yeah.
really do cardio.
No,
Like it's not that there isn't.
a ballet dancer
It-
has
it's
more
not-
physical condition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's not. It's not like they never do cardio. But when you think about like a balanced workout, they're really just interested in pressing as much as possible.
Yeah,
That's-
and weights, lifting squats,
That's what I said.
bulking.
I mean, their goal is to be able to pose for a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
Like flex your left quad for 30 seconds, flex your biceps for 15 seconds, stuff. So that's what they train for. And I don't think that's necessarily fit.
Muscle Tech, a supplement company Bedell had worked with, expressed its condolences. And they say everyone at Team Muscle Tech would like to send their condolences to the Bedell family and Gustavo Bedell fans around the globe. Team Muscle Tech worked with Gustavo in many years, and it was an honor to be represented by a man who was a consummate professional and one of blah blah blah. More pictures result tanned and greased up. Let's see. Rest in
That's it.
peace, champion.
That physique also requires an enormous amount of effort. So if you're willing to put it and to sacrifice, that still earns my respect. Saying that
Mhm.
I don't think that constitutes really fitness. It's more looks than anything, but still.
I once saw a picture of like what The Rock has to eat in a day and what he has to eat in a week to maintain his physique, and I can't afford that in a month. The amount of
Wow.
food
Oh,
that
no,
they have
this-
to eat is fucking insane.
These guys, especially movie stars, they have like their own trainers and their own
Yeah.
nutritionists, dietists and shit. So to anyone listening to us, don't feel bad because you don't look like one of those movie stars because you can't unless you're a fucking millionaire.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Rest in peace, champion bodybuilder Angela DeBatten. Comment on one post. I had the honor to share the Olympia stage with you. We did a guest posing together here in Orlando in 2005. And then she also adds that he helped her pre-contest to compete at Tampa Pro 2019, and we trained together, and I will keep those memories forever in my mind.
Oh.
Yes,
By the way,
all right.
Paulo Costa is going to bed, as I probably
Okay.
should. So,
Good
yeah.
night.
There's
Adios.
there's
Bye.
there's one topic I want to do before we wrap up.
Well, I have another
Oh,
one
do you?
about Biden.
Okay, go ahead.
And then we can do your topic.
Okay. Do that
Well,
because
that never-
it's kind of
Biden never gets old.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. See what I did there?
Yeah, Roberto Benigni played the detritus, the guy that everyone is.
Yeah,
They made
the
everyone mad at him.
detritus. Detritus.
So
Oh god, what?
he's
Oh,
at
yeah.
it again. Biden nibbles on frightened young girl during trip to Finland, weirding out Twitter users.
What the fuck?
Don't sue us, Fox.
Shit.
he's got some Francis Doleride shit going on, man.
Yeah, he's the pink dragon.
Yeah. So President Biden nibbled at the shoulder of a startled little girl during his departure from Helsinki on Thursday. Uh, the video took place after as the president greeted embassy staff members and their families before he boarded Air Force One at Helsinki Vantaan International Airport. He's leaning into a young girl and placing his mouth on her shoulder as he nibbled lightly. And the little girl, who appeared frightened during the experience, as one would be, note regarding any age when some wrinkly old zombie is trying to gum at your skin for that adrenochrome.
He can definitely smell the fear on that girl's blood. That's
Hmm.
that's what's
Later
attractive.
turned her head when Biden, who will turn 80, he's 81, he's going to be 81. We have a demented 81-year-old dude running
Allegedly,
America.
we have an
Nothing
alleged
alleged
demented.
about it. Look at that fucking video.
Holy shit, dude! He's completely off his fucking rocker, isn't he?
This
Yeah,
is just
footage.
on the heels of the video of him whispering shit into some girl's ear and saying, "Don't tell your mother I said that." And then he
Oh.
realizes she's got her camera on and he's like, "Are you recording? Why didn't you tell me?" Like, he keeps doing this shit.
Mm-hmm. And this has got to be Biden's creepiest moment yet for the child. Caleb Hull, a conservative operative, said of the footage. Twitter? Well, I'll pop up the Twitter quick. All Biden has to do is not do this, and he can't. And then another guy, Greg Price, joked that Biden is now confusing babies with ice cream cones.
Okay, so
Donald
this
Trump
is
Jr.
this is
wrote, Biden should be in a nursing home, not leading the free world. Yes,
that is
I
true. That is
agree.
true. I mean, what he did is like my dad and my uncles would do that sort of shit to me all the time. Like, it will nibble on my cheeks, like, I don't know. But like, they're my uncles, and like, my dad. They're
Hmm.
There
not like
is a
random
weird
friends.
thing. There is a weird thing in that generation about fucking chewing on people. I had relatives from that
Yeah.
that generation that did it too. It's like, bro, I'm gonna fucking knock your teeth out. I'm just sick, so I can't. Give it
I don't know
time.
about you, but in my case, I guess it's because they came from the time of Spanish Civil War, which, like, famine was rampant. So, if you like something, you wanted to eat it.
Yeah. And look at I think this is like mom or auntie. She's just on her phone like, "Oh my god, the president of the United States is is nibbling on my baby. How cute." And the baby's
And the
like,
girl's like,
"Get
Mom,
them."
is that what you tell me is gonna come for me if I don't go to bed early? Is
Is
that
that the
what you've been
boogeyman?
warning me about? Is
It's
that
the
what's
tooth
hiding under
fairy,
my bed?
man.
Yeah, look at him. Look at him leer at this poor innocent little baby. The baby knows she's in
Mom,
danger, but
sometimes
mom
I
is like,
wake up sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't move, and I see this person hovering over me. This is exactly what I see.
and mom is probably tweeting out like, "OMG, got to meet the U.S. president." LOL, just a bunch of emojis. Yep. Biden pretended to
Fuck.
bite the back of this little girl in Finland. She was clearly scared and not amused.
So weird.
The eyebrow raising behavior from the president came as he concluded a 5-day trip to Europe and as he was at the Lithuanian summit to support Ukraine. That's where we saw poor little lost boy, the loser. And then here's possibly one of his handlers talking at, let's see. Oh, also not only that, but during the trip, Biden committed multiple speaking gaps, which including confusing Russia and Ukraine as well as their leaders. While speaking
Didn't
at the
he
I
middle
mean,
recently
what?
didn't he recently say that he expected Putin to lose the Iraq war?
Well, I heard that Joe Biden he wants to send troops to Ukraine now.
Oh,
That
well, the
that'll
good news
probably
is he's probably gonna forget about it tomorrow.
yeah. But yeah, he said that he referred to Ukraine to Volodymyr as Vladimir. Isn't just Volodymyr like the Ukrainian version of Vladimir?
I guess.
Yeah.
And then, appearing not to realize he made a mistake, Biden went on to say he shouldn't be so familiar and referred to Zelensky as Mr. Zelensky. Yeah, they're the same fucking name. I mean, don't blame him for that. And then later, Biden confused the two nations, referring to Ukraine as Russia. And look at the face of this little manlet as he probably realized what he said.
He's
This
he's
is
thinking that there is no actor salary that can pay for this shit.
no. Do you know what this looks like? Zelensky looks like the kid who was forced to bring his grandpa to like a school event, and
Yeah.
the grandpa's just there rambling about when I was your age, I met this guy named Corn Pop, and he used to touch my leg hair, and he said it was so white in the sun. And then we go to the pool and eat soggy crackers.
And
You
Grandpa's
have
fucking loaded.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
have to sit there and suffer in silence while you watch the eyebrows of the entire class raise. You're like, oh shit,
It's
I'm
like,
gonna get so beat up because
Grandpa.
of this. My social life is over in this college.
Like
Uh,
when Bart Simpson takes his grandpa to the school.
And
And the
the
grandpa,
Right,
Germans
eh?
stole,
We used to tie an onion on our belt.
the Germans stole the number
That
20
was
from us, and that's why we say 1962.
back in my day. We used to tie an onion on our belt. That was the style at the time. And you could get 1 nickel for a bee. And, oh God. Russia could end this war tomorrow by withdrawing its forces from Ukraine and recognizing its international borders and ceasing attacks. No, I gotta do it. Russia could end this war tomorrow by withdrawing
good.
its forces from Ukraine and recognizing its international borders and ceasing its attacks. It's the main attacks on Russia on Ukraine, Biden said, correcting himself. And then,
Just make sure you're
when
making
is
a
it?
face.
When can I get the applesauce?
Just make sure you're making a face like you're trying to decipher a black metal album cover.
Yeah.
What does
And
it say there? Obituary? Does it say obituary? That's his
uh,
face.
where?
No, I'm just saying that's the face he's
Oh,
making. He's making a face as if
yeah.
he's trying to read the cover of a
And
black
then
metal album. For example, obituary.
the gaffes are just the
That
latest
was
in
the
a string
joke.
of near constant fumbles by Biden, including last month when he told reporters Putin was, was clearly losing the war in Iraq. All right, where's my double chocolate chip ice cream cone, Jill? Uh, uh, so that's that. Did you want to do your thing midnight or no?
Yeah. Let me grab it. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. So, what do you guys think of RFK?
Well, he's
Well,
anti-vax, so just for that, I like him.
It's a good
I don't
start,
know.
right?
He's a Kennedy. Maybe he is. Well, we haven't had a Kennedy in the presidential race for a while, so I want to see how this plays out.
We all know that RFK knows who killed his father and his uncle, right? Like he knows specifically
Well, I'm gonna
who murdered
paraphrase
his
Oliver.
family.
I'm gonna paraphrase Oliver Stone, and I'm gonna say it's not as important who did it as it is why they did it. You know. So okay, you get a name, okay, Lyndon B. Johnson or some like mafia guy or some Cuban guy, whatever. The important thing is why they do it.
Well, I mean, who pulled the trigger?
Alright.
And he knows who. Not just like he knows who pulled the trigger, He knows who they were working for. And remember, this isn't you and me. This is his father and his uncle, who I'm assuming, loved very much.
This is the undisputed truth, hero. We all hate Biden here.
Well, that's true.
I'm kind of disgusted by it. Yeah.
If you know, if you're RFK and you know specifically who murdered your father and your uncle, and specifically what their chain of command was, you'd be a fool not to have some opinions. So, RFK Jr. says COVID may have been ethnically targeted to spare Jews.
Uh-oh.
Democratic presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. dished out wild COVID-19 conspiracy theories this week during a press event at an Upper East Side restaurant, claiming the bug was a genetically engineered bioweapon that may have been ethnically targeted to spare Ashkenazi Jews and Chinese people.
Oh,
Now,
so the Mizrahi Jews, the Sephardic Jews, and the Ethiopian Jews, they were all fair game.
well,
Gotta
I
have
know that the
only one type of
Ashkenazis
Jew.
fucking hate Sephardics, and they quadruply so hate the Ethiopians because the Ethiopians were supposed to not come around. Do you know what I mean? Like, that wasn't supposed to happen, and the only reason they didn't slaughter every single one of them is because there was an international eye on them. They begrudgingly accepted, quote-unquote, accepted the Ethiopians because it would have looked bad to do what they really wanted to do to them.
Yeah, but guess who cleans up the trash in Israel? The Ethiopian Jews.
Now, we don't have to read the whole article. You guys understand that if you're bioengineering at the genetic level, you can, in theory, pick genetic markers and cause it to avoid those genetic markers. So the exclusive genetic markers and pick your ethnicity, you can program a virus, in theory, to avoid those to not be functional around those genetic markers. Now, this is interesting because there's this show I watched quite a while ago. Let me see if, is it going to pause? All right, it's going to pause. I don't know if you guys ever saw this show, but you should. Everybody watching should. It was made in 2013, 2014 in the BBC, and it got very abruptly shut down. Where is it? Share screen. Here it is. Really good show, by the way. Really good show.
Utopia.
Oh, yeah, I remember it.
Well.
Good morning. We're here to outplay a scenario. You have all been assigned cabinet posts. I'd like to remind you that we are trying to replicate the real thing here. Everything off.
I'm Gary, and today I'll be your Prime Minister.
At 0300 hours this morning in Mumbai, a nuclear warhead was detonated. There are no casualty figures, but deaths are estimated to run into at least hundreds of thousands.
I'd like the Emergency Powers Bill to be presented to Parliament as soon as possible and the cessation of all economic and political ties.
Is that wise?
Let's put this to vote. Carried.
Well, that was a very short discussion for a very serious act. What will it be used for, this game we're playing?
It's a useful way of testing responses. The hope is people making these decisions will know how to rise above their personal problems and do their job.
Yes,
Wait a second.
we have an estimate on the morning time, yeah.
This isn't Utopia.
Two countries
That's another season, I think.
That's not Utopia. That's weird. It's on the Utopia page. That's weird. All right, here we go. I got a different one. That's so weird. Let me reshare. Sorry about that.
No problem.
This is Utopia.
It's a comic. It's a graphic novel. It's called The Utopia Experiments. It's about a scientist who makes a deal with the devil.
It's like opening a door into another world.
It's opening a door to reality.
Where is Jessica Hyde?
Who are you? And what's going on?
Do you want to see my nuclear fallout shelter?
You should make it your mission.
How?
All of us have a mission in life. This is yours. What?
Why?
Are you trying to wind me up?
You have no idea how powerful they are. Things are gonna get mad. People are dying. Would you like some tea?
I don't drink tea. Caffeine was invented by the CIA.
Utopia.
I remember.
Let
I
me
remember
get
that show.
You remember the plot?
Mm-hmm. Well, I remember watching it like 10 years ago. It all revolved around this woman who had drawn a comic book that somehow revealed the plot of the elites to like depopulate the earth, and there were like these two like homegrown assassins. One of them was
So-
I remember what the tall one looked like my boss at the gym. I remember that.
Arby?
No, the other one. You know, there were like two of them. Arby
Oh,
was the chunky
the
one.
skinny one?
Yeah, the
Okay.
skinny one with like the hair. Yeah, that guy looked like my boss.
So I'm going to read the synopsis. It's just 2 paragraphs, and then I'm going to tie it all together. A community of comic book fans believe the graphic novel The Utopia Experiments predicted several disastrous epidemics such as mad cow disease. A rumored unpublished sequel supposedly contains further information on future world events. When one Utopia enthusiast procures the manuscript, he invites 4 of his friends from an online forum to meet in real life. However, after getting their hands on the manuscript, the 4, Ian, Becky, Wilson, and Grant, find themselves in over their heads as a secret organization known only as the Network is after it. They find their lives systematically dismantled while the network operatives kill anyone on their way as they hunt for the manuscript and someone named Jessica Hyde. Jessica, who has been on the run from the network her entire life, meets with the group and helps them evade capture. Meanwhile, does it say what it is? Oh, here we go. The closer people come to understanding what's truly on, the more dangerous things become. As rumors of Russian flu proliferate worldwide, and a variety of groups and individuals close in on the protagonists, they try to solve the web of mysteries and conspiracies around them. So, what it's about is there's this secret network that creates a utopia plan. And the utopia plan is to create mass fucking genocide through sterilization. And they do this by unleashing a flu so that people will take a vaccine. And there's also a food additive that's part of it. So it's like a virus. Wait, I'm misremembering something here. Utopia virus. There's a food additive that if you eat the food additive and you get the vaccine and you get the virus or something like that, you can no longer reproduce.
Huh.
Okay. However, the guy who created the whole thing, it turns out that he's the guy that drew the comic while he was in an asylum because he went nuts. So I'm watching it and the whole thing is all making sense. And he's like, and they get to the guy and he's like, the persecution of my people. And so I made it so that the virus would spare my people. And you know who his people are?
I can't get an idea.
The Nose Tribe.
Wrong. It's gypsies.
Oh!
Because I saw that, I'm like, I know that they mean Jews. There's no way that they didn't mean Jews. Because Romani wouldn't do that. It's just not how Romani are. Their culture isn't structured like that. And it just strikes me that like the guy that was writing it or somebody was like, no, you can't do that one. You got to make it somebody else. You got to make it the Romani that are the genocidal maniacs.
Yeah.
Kind of weird how reality and fiction mirror each other, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, gypsies. All they want to do is they just want to shortchange us. Gaijos, I think we're called.
Gypsies are very small scale thinkers.
Yeah.
They're not thinking on a global scale. They're thinking on the latest like scam.
Mm-hmm. They just want to sit around and scam gaijos and I don't know,
Ped0Joe.
canals here and fight each other.
Here we go. The plot centers on a group of comic book fans who discover an unpublished manuscript for a graphic novel, which turns out to be a real-life plot to fake a global pandemic in order to thin the Earth's population. People are killed or poisoned to convince them that the virus is real before a traumatized population is convinced to take a vaccine which sterilizes the majority of them, lowering the planet's population to just 500 million people total in a single generation.
Okay.
Sound familiar? Sound
Oh
fucking
yes, it
familiar?
does. Oh yes, it does.
Yeah. I watched that show and I was like, holy shit, this is exactly what's happening. So, RFK, have good security. Don't trust any of them.
No, it reminds me of a line from Clone High, from the clone of JFK. Nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys. And then immediately his car flips over.
There's gonna at least be an attempt. They're gonna try.
But yeah, Hero was asking, have you seen The Lone Gunman, which is like a offshoot of X-Files, spin-off of X-Files, and they basically predicted 9/11.
There are two, maybe three, like 2.5 ways that this happens. It is possible to, like, if you are intelligent enough, you sort of consume the zeitgeist and you're able to predict where it's going like a school of fish. I've done it myself. You can predict. I actually I didn't predict 9/11. I predicted that Osama bin Laden was going to do something. And that was 2 weeks before it happened. Because I had consumed the zeitgeist, and I picked up that this guy's name was appearing and he was tied to these things, and that the tension was rising in a certain way, that something had to be happening. That tension has to release eventually. I had no idea when I thought it was going to happen. But I was like, oh, this guy's going to do something, and he's going to do it soon, 2 weeks later. I remember exactly where I was when I said that. I was looking at the New York Times Sunday edition in my girlfriend's kitchen. Well, her mother's kitchen, but you get the point. So that's one way. Another way is you're just an insider. You have a tap on the insider. A third way is how I've come to understand a lot of things that are going on. You're a what's the word? I like a extraneous figure around those people, and they forget that you can hear them talking. I did a lot of events as an engineer, a lot of them, and I heard them talking. Pretty much all water charities are some sort of front. Green energy is always a scam. I know this because I did conferences for both for years. Years. The globalist thing, I'm pretty sure I did World Economic Forum events. It was before I knew what it really was. You can pick up the zeitgeist. So either oh wait, here, either that person, just whoever made Utopia, just kind of picked it up, or they had their ear to the ground somewhere. And then everybody else who's too stupid or uninformed calls you a conspiracy theorist. And then when it all happens, they pretend like you never said anything.
It's like the story of, I don't know, the closest thing I can figure out is like The Man in the High Castle. Yeah. Where it was a book that was about if the Axis run a war, and the main plot is they're trying to find the author who wrote a book about if the Allies won the war.
But what I think is happening right now is that the people who think of themselves as chosen by God are making their play to have their utopia back.
I mean...
And we are not chosen by God, so it doesn't matter to them what they do to us.
Right.
they're just fine. Self-preservation is the core tenet of that cultural philosophy, and there is no cost paid by someone else that is too high to achieve that self-preservation. And there's a very convenient means of getting everybody to look the other way. Call them a bigot.
Yep. They say they're chosen by God, but they are really not. It's a long story. I mean, biblically, it was just God just chose one guy and said, "Hey, make a bunch of kids. I think you're a cool guy. Make a bunch of kids to worship me and only me."
Wait, are you talking about Adam?
No, I'm talking about Abraham.
Oh yeah.
Adam was all of humanity, but Abraham was the one God was like, "Yo, I pick you and your family, make a bunch of kids, expand in my name." Well, anyway,
Definitely
so
wasn't talking about the Basques. That's for sure.
well, then again, you also have the story of like before Abraham had Isaac, he had a child with like his servant Hagar, Ishmael, who became the founder of Islam.
Dun, dun, dun. I mean, both Islam and Christianity are Abrahamic religion, and Judaism. So, you know, any one of them could claim to be the chosen people. Actually, I think the Muslims do, don't they?
I mean, every religion claims that its adherents are chosen by God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yep.
But a difference is that there's an ethnic component in dem boys.
Yeah.
Christians invite everyone. Muslims invite everyone. Like, so they're not closed. Whereas dem boys don't. They sometimes pretend to, but they don't, ultimately.
All right, so speaking of Jews, I'm being harassed by the Mew. So let's end
Oh, I
this.
thought you were gonna say you felt thirsty. Speaking of juice, I feel like drinking water.
I do kind of want juice now that you mention it, but
I want a juice with gas.
Midnight.
I know.
What you got planned?
Nothing. My day job has been pretty intense the last couple of weeks. I'm working myself to the bone.
And then, Fat One, what are you up to?
Just gonna keep drawing that short story for the anthology. I think it's an anthology. It's 12-pager that I've been hired to draw in color. So that's what I'm going to be doing.
Bean Boy, what do you got?
I have to finish this $600 commission that is killing me.
Life of the artist, man.
I'm Henry Guy.
Well, but on the bright side, all this money is going to pay for my trip to a convention next month. No, it's this month.
Cool.
It's this month.
What convention?
It's a secret.
Oh. Does the secret convention have a certain guest?
Yeah.
A female guest. Her name starts with a C.
Oh yeah.
Go get 'em, stud.
Yeah.
As for me, I'm probably still going to be slowly moving and being subjected by the Mew. And I have to haul a bunch of clothes over to the laundromat because I can't get them dried in time because I want to get out as soon as possible. So I have to spend money. And there was no water upstairs for like the whole entire week.
Oh joy.
Yeah.
Not
All
hate
right.
to Peru, but I guess shithole countries are gonna shithole country.
At least I'm moving to a better, more modern district
This
now.
is true.
No, I guess I will see. I guess that ends the show. Everyone say your goodbyes.
Adios.
All right, everyone, have a nice night.
Night.
Adios.
Bye.